Hi everybody, Badass Women Optimal Healthy Living. How is everybody today? We are here, you are here for anxiety. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? Is it working for you? Is it working against you? I am going to give you 3 very easy steps for it to work for you, not against. So stay tuned. This is going to be a great workshop. It is going to be interactive, meaning you can watch, but I don't want you just to sit and watch. You're going to be a participant. I'm going to look over here a couple times just because I've got my monitor on and I've got some checking with tagging some people just to make sure that because they requested wanting to see this, that they know it's playing. Good news, it will be on replay. So, and I will also have this in the guides, formerly known as the tabs section. So let's get going. All right. If you have been experiencing stress, who hasn't? Especially the last year. I mean, can we just all just take a big breath and go, because, a lot of stuff. I was thinking about it on my walk this morning as I was walking on crunchy ice. Crunchy ice. I mean, each day there is another layer of a challenge to just try to stay calm. So that's what we're here for today. We're going to do all that. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about anxiety, exactly what it is, stress, and then really, really getting it to work for you. I have had anxiety most of my life, and let me just stress that there is just different forms of it. This is not to take the place of any doctor, medication, or anything you are doing. This is an add-on, but it is very, very, very powerful. So what I'd like you to do is just have a seat. You can be on the floor on a cushion. You can be on a chair. Just get yourself comfortable. That's where we're going to start out. And as before we get into the practice, I just want to go into a little bit of just an explanation. Now, some of you we have not met. So let me just say, I'm Christine Quinn. I run the group. I run this group because I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about health and wellness, women's health and wellness. And I'm a big believer in community. And the more like-minded people stick together, the more our goals, our wishes, our desires get accomplished. And these goals being our healthiest, highest self. So I've been in the wellness space, working in it for about 10 years as a fitness instructor, yoga as well as fitness. And then the last 3 to 4 years in health and wellness doing health coaching. So I've worked with hundreds of women. Anxiety, 9 times out of 9, 10 times out of 10 comes up. So it's so important we make this our friend, which we're going to get into in just a bit, because anxiety, in all my research, in all my studies, decades of this, is one of the biggest triggers to most, if not all, the chronic illnesses. So once we become friends with our anxiety, not only in the short term are we beginning to feel better in the short term, but we're setting ourselves up for long-term health and either reversing, preventing, or reducing the risks of chronic illnesses. Yes, anxiety, stress is a major trigger. Cancer, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, you name it. Alzheimer's even. So it's not the end-all cure, but we've really got to get a good handle on it. So have a seat. I'm just going to say, you want to get your own ritual going. I'm going to give you these 3 easy steps. I personally have lots of different rituals. I use crystal stones. I even use like a face mister to just kind of get a little scent going, and it's so dry right now. I also use oils just to get a good scent going if I need a little extra calming. So just you get your own ritual. Maybe you want to light a candle. Maybe you want to have a glass of water nearby, a comfy blankie, something that really helps you get into a nourishing mode that's going to help soothe you. So you're having a seat. If you're in a chair, great, because you can do this throughout the day. If you're working at a desk, if you're on the floor, great too. You can have your legs straight out, or you can be seated. Crisscross, your legs crossed. I was about to say crisscross applesauce because I work with kids, or your legs out. So if you're in a chair, the one requirement is that your feet are planted, rooted into the ground. All right. So get to that position. Now, before we get into this, you're going to be interactive with me, right? I see a bunch of you on here. You're going to be there. Show me, maybe just leave an emoji or tell me where you're from. I want to get a little interaction here from you all. I'm just looking at my monitor. Let me know how you're feeling today, why you're here. You know, we're all in this together. All right. So we are going to begin, and I hope you do this whenever you start out with this practice. Even if you're like in the middle of like an encounter with one of your family members, you want to just get in a comfortable, you don't want to be, a lot of times when we're stressed and anxious, we're here. We're rolling forward, we're scrunching, we're down, our posture just goes out the door. So I want you all just to roll your shoulders up and back, just nice and gentle. Up and back. And reverse. Just to get yourself a little unwinding here. Power of movement is huge, 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 huge when you're dealing with anxiety and stress. Okay, so now I want you to do the same thing with your breath. So we're going to inhale, and we'll get to the more deeper with the breath in just a second. But I want you to inhale through your nose, and as you're breathing, as if you're turning on a car and it ignites, you're going to breathe in, and that's going to propel your shoulders up like they're touching your ears. As you exhale through your nose, your shoulders come back and down. So what I'm getting you to do to practice is to use your breath with your movement. So your inhale comes in, shoulders come up. You exhale, shoulders float down. Now we're going to reverse. Shoulders come up on the inhale and exhale. So slow. It's as if a cloud just floats up. It's gentle. And exhale down. Excellent. All right. So just roll maybe one shoulder, the other shoulder, see if anything's tight. Now I want you to inhale your arms up to the sky, palms touch. Separate your hands into a goalpost and just leave them there. What we're doing right now is we're activating the pectoral muscles to open. Your cardiovascular system now has more room. Your chest has more room. You are countering what stress does to our body, which is this. All right, so here you are. Let me just get a little bit wider in the frame. You're here. Inhale your arms up. Just getting a little movement before we get going. Exhale down. Those of you know me know that I am nourish, move, meditate. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now, if you're feeling tight in your shoulders, you're going to go from your goalpost, come around. Well, let's all do it. Grab onto your wrists and just like someone's pulling you to the back of the room, stretch, open up your chest, your shoulders. Exhale, release. Okay, see if you feel a little lighter. Maybe do that throughout do it throughout the day. Perhaps you notice, wow, am I tight? Maybe you need to get a roller ball, something to loosen up. Okay, let's get going. Remember, this is interactive. Studies show that when you actually participate, you will retain this information better than just watching me wave my hands around and talking into the screen. So you've got your comfortable place to sit. We have stretched. You're going to keep your shoulders nice, long, lean line across. It's gentle. It's not like this like firm, like stressed out. It's just a gentle position. Okay, so anxiety, what exactly is it? It's apprehensiveness, it's uneasiness, it's nervousness, it's thoughts getting away from us and driving the bus. That's the foe. What we're going to do is become friends. And how we become friends with anxiety is becoming aware of those thoughts in a not judgment way, but as an observer. Now, I want to preface that this is a practice. When you do this with me today, if you get frustrated, it's not working, it doesn't feel right, you're on the right track. If you've been in a practice and this is like, whoa, I like this, is adding on, you're on the right track. So just stick with it. I promise you, if you practice these 3 steps I'm going to show you, things will start to get better. you will begin to be less stressed, less anxious. Okay, so you've got your comfortable spot. You're going to have your feet rooted in the ground if you're seated. We're going to do 3 easy things. Now, think about any situation. You could have one of your kids come in the room and start, I've got 2 teenagers. That happens 24/7. You can have a coworker, whatever it is. You're going to do this in any situation that begins to bring stress. The first step, it's actually a 3-part step for the first step. It's called stop, swap, and be. Simple. Instead of going right into when something happens in your outer world or your inner world. And I'm going to show you how you stop, swap, and be. But you got to think about stopping. You're going to swap out the thought, and then you're going to let yourself be. How do we do that? 2 ways I'm interconnect to that first step. The most important thing that you will incorporate with every exercise practice is your breath. Take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate the fact that you're breathing right now. Your breath comes with you, is with you, will be with you 24/7. Costs nothing. And it is an internal calming system. Now, because it's an internal calming system, if it's not used correctly, it's also a perpetuator of stress and anxiety. So we are going to incorporate what I've combined as the yogic breath with a breath called LSD. I'm not talking about the drug. I'm talking about the yogic breath and LSD, light, slow, deep. So what's the yogic breath? The yogic breath is using what a God-given or whatever universe, whatever Buddha you believe in, our nose. Our nose is there to filter the air we breathe. It also is there because when we breathe through our nose, it becomes more calm than mouth breathing. Mouth breathing dries us out, makes us breathe from the chest, adds or creates stress. So I get the question all the time. I've got sinus issues. I have a cold. I can't breathe through the nose. But that's okay. If that's the issue, I got some tips for you, not in this video, but we can work on that. I've got great remedies for any kind of sinus or if you have trouble breathing through the nose. So if you do have that today, you can do light mouth breathing, but really for the primary purpose of the breath, it's going to be inhale through the nose, light, slow, and deep. And it's going to exhale the breath through the nose. The other concept I want you to think about is when you have these light, slow breaths, like LSD breaths with the yogic in through the nose, out the nose, you're going to think about your breath, breathing in through your nose, going down the back of your throat. You really want to think about this. This is you. This is your body. Get connected. Have your breath, thinking about it, going down past your cardiovascular system, your diaphragm, and you're going to put your hand, left or right, on your belly, and you're going to want to feel your belly expand. That is the key. That is the magic button that turns your body into a calmer place. It's not just one breath. We've got to practice. So you're going to inhale, feel your belly expand just like a little baby does. And then when you exhale, your belly is going to come into your spine. You can even take this further by putting your other hand on your chest, center of your chest, your heart chakra. You'll inhale nice and slow. Feel the hand that's on your belly move. Exhale, feel it move again. If you're feeling the hand on your heart center moving, then you know that your breath is going to the chest and you want to continue to work on that visualization of the breath going down all the way to the belly. Okay, so that's yogic LSD breath. That's step 2. Here's the practice. It's called the 5-second rule. Anybody has kids? Do you remember the 5-second rule? Something drops on the floor, you pick it up 4 or 5 seconds, you get to eat it. Kind of a strange rule. We're doing 5-second rule for this practice. Now you may, if you're a meditator, a yogic, doing yoga, you may have heard of 4-7-8 or 4-4-4. Personally, with everyone I've worked with, myself included, the 5-5-5 is a lot more effective. It just makes it easier to remember. It's the same number. It keeps yourself steady because it's the same number, and it's just easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that LSD yogic breath, and if you just joined us, LSD is light, slow, deep. We're going to take that breath and we are going to close your eyes. We're going to breathe in 5 counts to yourself. I'll start it out with a couple. You're going to hold for 5, and then that really long exhale for 5. We're going to do that 10 times, 10. And it doesn't matter if, when you do this on your own, you forget to count. You're just going to want to keep practicing it. Now, here's the gist. You are going to wander all over the place in your head. When you do this, you're going to count. You're going to get to 3. Oh, wait, what number was I on? Wait, I was just thinking about what I got to do later. That's when the observer comes in. Totally okay to wander. Meditation is not about stopping to think. Having anxiety and stress is not about not having it. It's just about being aware of it. When you practice this, I'm getting the chills right now because this is so effective and such a turning point for our health and wellness. When you become the driver, your thoughts are no longer driving you. You get the choice. You get to choose. So if someone comes in the room and starts screaming at you, and normally that would stress you out, you start screaming back. Once you get into this practice, this breath work, you're a lot more calmer and you get to choose. Maybe not a good idea. It's not going to be helpful for me to scream back. You get to make that time in between something that happens to you and how you want to react. Now, just a note, it might not be an external thing that happens. As you're doing this or as you go on your day, it might be an internal. A feeling might come up. An emotion might come up. And we want to be able to just be aware of that emotion. Maybe it's an emotion that takes us into stress eating. Maybe it's an emotion that takes us into calling someone and then just not having a productive conversation. This will help you decide, do I really want to act like, was that eating going to help this emotion? When you get that time in between, that what happens to you externally or internally, you get to choose. Okay, so let's do it. Close your eyes. Honor system. If you don't want to close your eyes, just take your gaze gently in front of you. Remember your shoulders, if you kind of just adjusted them, you just want to roll them back, get them nice and soft. Palms go on your quadriceps if you're seated or even on the chair or on the ground. You can have them up so palms face the sky, or you can have them down, whatever works for you. Your eyes are closed. You're just going to begin to breathe how you normally breathe. Nice and slow. Beginning to take your yogic LSD breaths. In through the nose. You can even have your one hand on your belly if you want to do that for a couple rounds, just to get the feel. Exhale through your nose. Begin to start to bring awareness to how you feel, body sensations. Notice if there's any tightness, any kind of stress or strain in any of your muscles, your bones. And just bring awareness. The critic in us comes out and will come out in thoughts. Just notice and see if you can let the thought, if it's critical or even praising yourself, just see if you can let it float by. We're learning non-attachment. We'll begin the 5-second breath. We're going to do 10. You'll do them on your own. Remember, your mind will wander, and that is okay. All you want to do when your mind starts to wander is just go back to bringing awareness to your breath. Beginning your 5-second inhale, nice and slow through your nose. You'll hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do another one together, inhaling through your nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale nice and slow. Go at your pace. If it's too slow, you can go at your pace that works for you and your body. Take another 6 to 8 or so of these 5-second breaths in through your nose, holding for 5 and then exhaling for 5. Finishing up with one more breath in through your nose, out your nose with the 5 count. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And then keeping your eyes closed, just take your hands away from your thighs and just kind of just shake them out. Just getting your body a little bit more acquainted, back to movement. And then before you open your eyes, just acknowledge your surroundings with your eyes closed, acknowledging if there's light in the room, acknowledging just what you know is in your room before you open your eyes. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Bring your hands as you next inhale up to the sky. Palms touch. Bring them down to your heart. Seal that in right here, knowing that you just gave yourself a very magical gift, the gift of silence, the gift of just being, the gift of starting to practice awareness rather than just go, 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 go all the time. And then hands come down. Excellent job. So I want to hear in comments or messaging me how that went for you. I want to just give a little side note because back in my early days of meditation, I wish someone told me this. If it was, well, actually the yogis did in my training. If this was hard for you, you're on the right track. You just got to keep doing it. If you were struggling, the count, the thoughts, that's okay. Remember the lotus flower. and this really relates to anxiety. The lotus flower grows in water and mud. It needs the mud. It needs the murkiness to bloom. It's beautiful, beautiful flower. We are just like that. We need the muck, we need the mud, which is what anxiety and stress really is, to grow. It's when we friend the anxiety through the practice of being aware of our thoughts, through the steps with the breath and that yogic LSD breath, that we can friend the thoughts. Rather than resisting them, rather than letting them just go monkey brain, we get to be in control. So I'm loving all these comments. I just got to say, we're going to just keep practicing this. I will be back next week, Monday. Actually, I will post because I'm not sure it's going to be Monday. But I will be back with a live on this topic. But I'm going to go a little deeper with another exercise next time. And I'm also going to be going with some recommendations for healthy, nourishing sips. That's right. I got really into this because I love all the meditation. I love yoga. I love all the practice. I love, obviously, exercise. What we put in our body, as well as on our body, is also key to our health and our anxiety. So I'm going to have some suggestions for some soothing sips that can perhaps replace, if you're a sugar drinker, you know, a sugary drinker, a coffee drinker. It's okay to be a coffee drinker. It's just you got to watch in moderation. If you're drinking alcohol, it's okay, moderation. You've heard that. So I will have some suggestions of things that you can crowd out if you feel like some of those drinks are taking up space in your body. What I just mentioned, the sugar, the caffeine, the alcohol, they are all not helpful for anxiety and stress. I don't care what study shows me a glass of wine is going to be okay for stress. In moderation, but if it becomes a tool and a stimulus, then we gotta look at that. All right, so everybody, it was so great to be here. Let me see. I want to see again comments. I want to hear more from you guys. Even like, tell me what you want to hear. What kind of like different workshops you want to do. I'm going to keep on this anxiety because it came up for a lot of people I've been working with this last several months. So, but we can do other things with it. I've run the challenges. I may be running another March challenge, which is the movement. I'm always including strength training. Key to getting our anxiety and stress is movement, not just cardio, not just yoga and stretching, but also weight bearing. Get the happy juices flowing, but also replacing the stress with strength, literally in your muscles. Your muscles get stressed and strained. They get tight. They get sore. Once you get stronger with weights and also through flexibility, you're going to replace that stress with strength. So great seeing everybody. The other thing I just wanted to mention, what I am putting into a lot of my lives, I read a lot of books. I recommend them from time to time when I think they are excellent, and I'm going to recommend one. And it's coming from, it's brand new. I love this guy, but I'm also going to recommend it because you're going to see some of the suggestions, some of the practices he has in here. I've already taught, I already do, but I've kind of expanded them. But it's called Think Like a Monk. Did I get that up there? Okay, this is the key to anxiety. Think like a monk being your friend. We have monkey brains. Monkey brains means our thoughts swing from tree to tree, just like a monkey swings from tree to tree. We want our brains and our minds, our thoughts, to be more like a monk. Now, we're not going to go live in a secluded place and meditate all day long, but the work they've done, we can learn from and bring into our lives with the practices. The practice I just did today, some more I'll do in the future. So if you want a little extra, pick up that book. It'll be well worth it, I promise. Okay, everybody, we're going to move today. We are going to nourish and we are going to continue to meditate, right? I'll talk to you guys all later. Great to see you. Let me know comments, emojis, whatever you got there. Everybody take care. See ya.